Hey y'all, it's Heather. Today I'm making cowboy candy and it only takes 4 ingredients: peppers, sugar, apple cider vinegar, and salt. So let's get started. I have measured out my peppers into this pot. It's about 24 cups of peppers. I grew these this year in my garden and they didn't all come ready at the same time. I just chopped them, put them in bags, put them in the freezer until I pulled my pepper plants up and got the remainder of them. So I have about 24 cups. I'm going to mix my brine up. I have about 5 cups of apple cider vinegar, 4 teaspoons of salt. I'm using just a good quality salt. You can use any kind of salt you want. And then I have 7.5 cups of organic sugar. Also going to turn this on. Oh, making a mess. Okay, and I'm going to just let this melt and then I'll turn it up and get it to a boil to make sure all the sugar and salt has dissolved. Okay, this is heated completely. All the sugar is melted. I'm not going to worry about having it come to a complete boil. Peppers right here, peppers, and then the vinegar mixture. Now we are going to bring this to a boil. All right, we're getting pretty hot here. I'm going to go ahead and get my jars and lids and rings and things out, and then we're going to get this in jars. The whole time continuing to let this heat and come to a boil. We got it up to a boil and it's boiled for 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to go on and start canning this up. I'm going to turn my canner temperature up. Ow. We can talk about the ingredients, where I got mine from, and what exactly I use. Like I said, my peppers came from my garden. The salt was that I used Redmond's real salt. You could use any kind of salt you want. I just try to use some kind of good salt or sea salt when I'm canning. I think it helps with the color of the product. Then what, the sugar, just an organic cane sugar. I get mine from Costco or Sam's. And the apple cider vinegar, organic with the mother. And I ordered that in a 5-gallon bucket from Azure Standard. That is the cheapest way I have found to get it. If you know of a cheaper way, let me know. And that's it. Very simple ingredients and really easy to make. What took the longest was just waiting for these peppers to come to a boil. And it's just because I had so many. My jars I washed in the dishwasher and they are room temperature. I try to use hot jars with hot products, but it's not how it turned out today. You could also heat them up in a pot or put them in your canner if you want them heated. We'll see. We'll see if any break. I don't think they will. I'm going to let them sit here with the hot product in them for a couple minutes before I put them in that super hot canner. Now I'm putting most of them in pints because, like I said, we eat a good bit of it. I'll do a couple little small jars like this to share. And I didn't wipe the rims off of the first few. I'll tell you, some days you're just not thinking as clear as other days, and today is my day for that. But here I am, still getting it done, because that's life. That's what happens. You're not always going to be super clear and on it and perfect, and that is okay. Okay, I'm going to let these hot water bath for 15 minutes. So this little bit I'll just stick in the refrigerator and we'll eat now. Good. And I want these to stay as warm as possible. So I'm going to wrap them in a couple dish towels, because I don't want to start my canner all the way over with cold water and put the cold jars in there. So I'm trying to keep these as warm as possible. I'll have to add a little water to that. So I'll add cool water, and maybe they'll be about the same temperature. I feel like they're going to be just fine. But you do it the way that you are comfortable with. I'm comfortable with this. If I ruin something, it's mine, right? We make these decisions for ourselves. We'll come back in 15 minutes and take these out and get the next batch going. Okay, our timer just went off, so I'm going to open this up. Pull these out. I'm going to let them sit there for a few minutes before I take them completely out of the pot. I am going to add a little bit more water to my pot, not only to bring the level itself up, but also to cool it a little bit, since my jars, they're not boiling hot. Okay, the same process. We're just going to bring this to a hard boil, set the, of course, drop these down and set the timer for 15 minutes. And these will be ready too. And I will be done with my cowboy candy. I made a pretty good bit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pints. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 half pints, and then 2 little jars. So that's a pretty good bit. I know I didn't put up that much last year, because honestly I was unsure if we would even like it. I liked it, but how would we use it? But found plenty of ways to use it, so I want to have plenty put up. And if you're not familiar with hot water bath canning, I suggest the Ball Blue Book. That is the first canning book that I got, and for me, it's just a great reference book. It has in the beginning of it all about pressure canning, hot water bath, and the different rules, I guess you would say. And then once you learn and you're comfortable, then you can take those rules into your own hands, I guess, and choose if you bend them a little bit. But I suggest getting a very good resource book like that, and to learn all the rules and things, and to see if there is anything that you would, skip or not do, or whatever, just like I didn't push the air bubbles out of my jars. I just didn't. I don't think it affects anything really. Sometimes I push them out, sometimes I don't. Today, I did not. But that's just something that I chose to do. I didn't just start canning this year. I've been canning 15 to 20 years. So over time, you find things that you feel comfortable doing for yourself. But anyway, 15 minutes after this starts boiling, and we'll be done with cowboy candy. Okay, it's the next day. I just let them sit and cool overnight. Turn out good, tasty. I'm happy with it. And I didn't mention, I think a lot of the videos that I watched when I was first trying to figure out how to do this they slice the peppers, but I like mine cut up like relish. So I should have put that in the beginning of the video, but here we are. Oh, and what I'll do is take the rings off, wash them off, stick them in my pantry, and that's that. Cowboy candy, hopefully, until my peppers come ready next season. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It helps us out and helps us grow. We really want to grow here, but we can't do that without y'all. See y'all next time.